Things have been quite a doozy since chapter 4. Yeah. They uh they they tried to drop the ball. They definitely tried. And then they're like, but look how many other balls we have that we can not drop. So, uh, we're still on the court playing basketball. And the barrier showed up. That was one of the things I've been waiting for. 9 and 5. So that means that there's only one more event, and then there's a second event that I think happens, but I'm not 100% sure. But one more event that I'm waiting for. We'll take care of the ions for our part, just as planned. You guys be careful out there. Same to you, heretic hunter. Oh, pardon me, Thousand Hand Guardian. It may not be your title anymore, but that doesn't mean you can't live up to it every now and then. I guess not. Thousand Hand Guardian. What kind of name is that? I gather you derived your new title from the legendary Thousand Arms herself, Rafina Argent. It is very fitting, Father Kevin. Thanks. Sounds like a long story. Hey Lloyd, the going's about to get tough, so hang in there, okay? Crossbell being in the spot it is, I wouldn't count on any outside help swooping in to save the day. If I have one piece of advice, it's this. Don't forget the bonds you made along the way. You'll need them. Bonds I've made. Understood, I'll keep that in mind. May Adios watch over you, Lloyd. And give Ellie my regards when you come to her aid. Right, I'll make sure I do. And yep, Wazy is the Crossbell Dominion. Yeah, I still can't believe it. Like, I know I called that he was part of the church. And I know that I even mentioned him being in the Gralsritter. But like for that to actually play out is just a little too insane. It's a little too insane. Wazy of all people, you know? It's like saying Prince Olivert is a Dominion. You know, it's like Wazy is a little too crazy to be in the church. What's going on? I've activated the optical camouflage. Keep in mind, the effect itself is not infallible. Our top speed has also been reduced as a drawback. In short, if we tried to fly into restricted airspace at this speed, the ion geared toward mobility would catch us in no time. We wouldn't stand a chance in a direct confrontation. That's why we're going to have Merkaba Unit 5 play a decoy. So what you're saying is, they'll give us the opening we need to infiltrate. Show us what the Grail's protectors can do then. Azure, play Trails third for the long story. They don't spoil Wazy in Trails in the Sky the Third, do they? Or do they like even mention him at all in one of the doors? Well, his gang is called the Testament. Subtle. I know that his like it was called the Testaments, but it's just like it's too on the nose, you know? It's like Dieter Croy basically saying, you know, like just calling his bank, you know, the International Bank of I'm going to be the dictator of Crossbell and all the world by creating a septarian. We're in the finale. Oh, snaps. Oh, snaps. I didn't think we were that far. I mean, like, I know we're in the home stretch here, but I thought maybe there was another chapter after this. Oh, I mean, everything that I think that could happen in that other chapter could happen in this chapter, so. Okay. So, at minimum, we probably have another 5 hours for this. But final dungeons in Trails games tend to be like at minimum 2 hours. So we probably got another 12 hours to go. We managed to slip through, but from the looks of it, the Land of Crossbell has already integrated with the Septarian. If we're not careful, the Ions will come after us again. So there's a limit to how much we can rely on this airship. Correct. Were we to land, the size of the craft would readily betray our presence to the network of Floromograss. Exactly. So getting us to the ground is going to be a hassle. To combat that, I plan to use a blind spot outside the Septium Veins' reaches. A blind spot. By nature, the Septium Veins' influence is large enough to span the breadth of the land. However, even among the streams of Septium Veins, there yet exists small regions free of their purview. Think I get it? So if we land in one of those gaps, we won't be noticed. That's about the size of it. As it happens, the point we're at now is exactly the kind of spot we've been looking for. Sandbar on St. Ursula Road. It's the same area where that cryptid appeared. But how did you figure out that this was a safe zone so quickly? Abbas and I already scouted it out beforehand, obviously. Once things in Crossbow went south, we set up our little parlor trick and made our escape. I gotta drink some water. I could feel the voice, or my I could feel my throat saying, you know, your voice is not going to last forever. Well, that's where you were. Very thorough of you. To be fair, this is the only place like it we know of so far. In the future, we'll have to find other blind spots where we can land. Now then, what's the plan? There's no way for us to get into the city, what with that barrier around it. I know that. Still, I think it would be best to get our feet on the ground now. I want to get a feel for what's going on down there with my own eyes. Every little bit counts. We can also use this opportunity to check on this situation at St. Ursula Hospital. Fair enough. And descend we shall. What troubles you? I know it's a little late to ask, but why exactly are you going out of your way to help us, Seat? There's a little something I heard about the dragon that appeared during the Laburo incident. Basically, you holy beasts aren't allowed to interfere with the fates of the Septarians, right? Just so, that is a provision of the covenant we have made. However, as the Septarian of Mirage has long since been lost, my duty has already come to an end. With those shackles removed, I am permitted to act more freely. Lending a modicum of help to the children of man should be within my bounds. So that's how it is. Is that why you helped us during the Warhound case back then? You assume correctly. I cannot give you my indefinite support, but I can grant you my aid for the time being. You may simply consider this a part of my role as a police dog, if that so pleases you. Sure, we're glad to have you aboard. That's right, the three of us are going to have to make do on our own for now. When you're ready to disembark, just let Abbas know, and he'll take us down. The Merkaba also offers a few facilities at your disposal. Feel free to bother the crew for new equipment or supplies, or if you want to use the Orbital Factory. Got it, thanks. Lazy and Zeet have joined the party. I've been waiting for Zeet to join the party since Trails from Zero. And the fact that he never does just was crazy to me. He seemed like a party member. Sure, we'll equip that and we'll figure out what it is. Zeet has temporarily joined the party. As he does not use an Enigma 2, you cannot customize his quartz. He does, however, have access to high-level arts. Be aware that Zeet also does not possess an S-Craft. Additionally, you will only be able to control Lloyd while aboard the Merkaba. All other members will be on standby within the ship. You will, however, still be able to manage all the members' equipment in the camp menu and browse on their behalf at the shop and factory. What? What does that mean? I don't under. What does that mean? Saints garb. You suck a fool. Okay. Rich fragrance. Hard jerky. Defense question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, I can't even see his arts? Come on. Alrighty. I don't know how long you're going to stay in my party, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I had you with that. And I'm pretty sure I had you with that. EP cut. What is this garbage that you have equipped? Come on. Let's see here. Let's give you that. Let's give you the hit 3. Hey, Morganite Skies. What's the best thing that happened to you today? Page 3. Action 3. Shield breaker. I don't remember the other thing that I had him equip. I doubt it was HP, but it could have been HP. Yeah, it must have been HP. I'm pretty sure he had breath. Okay. Well, that only gives you 40. The reduction of 150 defense. That's pretty crazy. That's 250 defense now. Alright, let's save. Man, we are still Poe. My goodness. Formation. That movie right there. And some tasty veggie sushi. Ooh. Ooh. Gosh, why is everything so expensive? I have no Sepith either. Jesus. After a game, you'd think they'd default onto yes by now. Can we sell these things quickly, please? Also, I'm very, very glad that I did not buy that weapon for Noelle when she said that she was leaving. Because holy cow, was I really thinking like, okay, I'll buy it because there's no way she's gonna leave the party. And she definitely left the party. Survival. Is this enough to carry like 4 other people? Probably. Yesterday, I cooked my Mexican rice, and I messed up a little bit, you know, as my grandfather would call it. I had a little bit too much bagao, but I think that was because I had the heat on at still medium heat, and I put the cover on for at least half the time that it was supposed to cook. Oh, wow. But, I think the next time I cook it, I'll be in a good spot. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Why does nothing in this game sell for good amounts? Okay. Hold off on that. It's a good thing we found that gap between the Septium Vein's influence on Ursula Road before things went downhill. But from now on, we'll have to manually detect other blind spots around the state if we want to land elsewhere. Merkaba is short-handed, as it is, so we're not exactly in an enviable position. So much is clear. All we can do is take this one step at a time, finding our comrades, bringing Kia back. Even in the most optimistic circumstances, I know it's not going to be easy. That it won't. So for now, we'll just have to do things the hard way. Nope, no Wazy mentions on the doors. Okay, at least they don't spoil Wazy in that game. Still can't buy EP Charge 3s. Not that I need to do that right now. What do we have out here? I don't think I want to do that yet. Looks like we're as far as we're going to be on creating. I mean, it's the final chapter. They're not going to give us more stuff, so I should be using this stuff to be doing this stuff. Okay. I need to upgrade my weapons, though. Where's that suckerfoo? I need a Gilliam. Where's the Gilliam? What's the best thing that happened to me today? Man. As per usual, I like to say things that are not related to the game that I'm playing. You guys always get me with this stuff. I'm gonna have to be a little boring today and say that I woke up to my alarm today. And that doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes I wake up at like 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. or, sometime before. And, this time I was in that interesting state where you're not really sleeping, but you're not really awake. So like, I was laying there, but I was sleeping, but not. And, I guess that's technically not waking up to my alarm the way I would like to describe it, but that's how I'm gonna roll with it. Maybe I'll think of something better later. So, we're headed to St. Ursula Hospital, are we? Zeet? You needn't mind me. I was merely reminiscing. Speaking of which, we have been allies for many moons now. Yet in spite of that, I believe this will be the first time we travel the highway together. You're right. Funny how that works out, huh? Still, there's a first time for everything. We'll be counting on you down there, Zeet. Indeed, I look forward to observing your much vaunted leadership abilities as well. So there's no upgrade place here. You suck fools. Where's my Gulliam? Where's my Gulliam? Find it hard to play more than one story game at once? Oh, I'm right there with you. I don't know how people can play like multiple games. Mr. JRPG is a wonderful example of this. He plays like upwards of 3 or 4 games at the same time, and I just can't do that. I will start remembering story stuff from other games while I'm playing one game, and it's so much to deal with, and I'll start forgetting things that from other games that I shouldn't be forgetting. So I just play one game at a time, finish it, move on to the next one. That way there's no problems. Well, have you figured out our next course of action? Yeah, we've decided that we're going to land here for now. I have to say, though, you and Wazy being in the Gralsritter was a heck of a surprise. It was for the sake of deceiving Archbishop Aralda. He is a detractor of ours due to an inter-congregational conflict. Simply put, the thought process was that no one would expect a Dominion to pose as the head of a street gang. Yeah, you're darn right. And I guess it worked. Though, come to think of it, you guys did name your group the Testaments, not to mention all the crusades you went on. I suppose we did. I thought it would be less conspicuous if we were intentionally a crude imitation. I can't deny that. You doubled down so hard on your shtick, no one would ever have guessed it was authentic. Anyway, are we good to land whenever? Yes, the spot we are aiming for has already been pinpointed. You need only say the word. Understood. Confirm your destination. The doggy talks? Yep. He's talking to us now, anyways. He didn't talk to us before. This game looks so fun. The Trails games definitely have a like they have so many cool things about them, and I think if people wanted to get on board with trying them out, it would certainly be a really cool and crazy ride, and I think people would appreciate them a lot. I also think that if you're not really a fan of JRPGs or JRPG tropes, or you can't look past them, the games will definitely start to cause friction with you. I take it the others are going to keep monitoring the situation from above. That's the plan. They're more likely to be discovered if they stay at ground level. Now then. In the name of she who dwells above, do I hold this consecrated septium. Oh, just like what Sister Marble did. I see, you're employing the Graal's thaumaturgy for this. Earth's amber glow, space's golden glow. By your congruent natures, form anew a sanctuary to protect this chariot from ever-watchful eyes. What is this? A warp circle capable of stabilizing the gap within the septium veins' influence. It's also invisible to anyone who hasn't been aboard the Merkaba. Impressive, no? In any case, I say that a lot. It should last us for the time being. Speechless. I guess it's finally dawning on me that you really are one of the church's knights. After working with you for so long, it's been tough to actually picture you that way. I'm still the cool, calm, and collected playboy you've always known, Lloyd. But never mind that. What's our next move? Should we try heading to St. Ursula? Yeah, I'd like to confirm the situation there while we're in the area. It also wouldn't hurt to at least scout out the path toward Crossbell City to see what it's like. I'm fine with that as well. However, be aware that cryptids have begun to appear on the highways due to Floroma grass. It would be wise to tread carefully. Duly noted. And let's be off. Examining warp circles will return you to the Merkaba. Traversing the state, speak to Abbess and select a destination on the map to travel to that warp circle. The number of available warp circles will increase throughout the story. What are those things on the map? They're like circles or something. Half circles or pies or something. They're not on this map. See if we can fish. Cryptids appearing in Crossbow is no joke, but at least the one here opened up a spot to this fantastic fishing spot. The sucker. Oh, I don't have any, whatchamacallits. Follow some streamers who play multiple story-heavy games at once, and it always takes away from your investment. I think it doesn't bother me or hinder me when I'm watching other streamers do it, but I will say that there is certainly the aspect of, oh my gosh. There is certainly the aspect of I I might like a game more than another one, and so I might be more willing to tune in to the streamer playing that game as opposed to any other games. That certainly plays a factor, because you know I'm there to see the game after all. You know, if someone's playing I don't know, Street Fighter 5, you know, I'm probably never going to show up to that stream. Mostly because, you know, I'm just not a fighting game person. But if someone were playing The Legend of Dragoon, I'd probably be there. You might have asked this before, but have I played Final Fantasy XIV? I have played Final Fantasy XIV. In fact, a lot of it was on stream. This was back, I don't know, like in 2021, I think? In the summer? It was like August 2021 or August 2020. I played through a fair chunk of it. I went through, so like I went through most of A Realm Reborn on stream. Some of it was off stream, like at the very beginning. That was before I decided I was going to stream it. And then I went all the way up to the end of Stormblood, but I did not do any of the Stormblood patches. And after reaching, oh wait, that's not what I was expecting. Okay. Fine, you could have given us a bigger line here. I stopped playing Final Fantasy XIV because the Weiss card. Oh. The story wasn't. I wasn't on board with where the story was going. And I get to control you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do this. Can I find it boring? No. Well, let me rephrase. A Realm Reborn was just complete, like, all right. There has to be a little bit of context here. Okay. For the longest time, there's been so many people saying that Final Fantasy XIV's story is amazing and, you know, it's incredible and everybody should play it, and, you know, just hyping it up to unbelievable levels. So when I decided that I was going to play Final Fantasy XIV, I was like, okay, you know, let's see what it's got. Play some Final Fantasy XIV. Let's play one of the greatest stories in all of gaming. And what I got was A Realm Reborn, which was one of the most like generic stories and in like storytelling devices, and it kind of just played on way too many aspects that I generally dislike in story focused games, where they will present something important and then they'll move on to something else and forget that, or like basically cause you to forget that something important ever happened, and then later down the line it's like, oh, we have something important again that we want to bring to your attention. And so they'll bring up this story element that, you know, super old. I want to go, well, I guess we'll go visit that later. So I found A Realm Reborn to be just not good at all. I don't think I would call it boring. I would just call it extremely uninteresting and not deserving of any of the hype that people give Final Fantasy XIV. So I was extremely confused by that. Then, despite all of that, I played Heavensward, and I thought Heavensward was pretty good. It was pretty good. You know, I gotta give Heavensward the credit that it deserves. It was pretty good. And then I played Stormblood. And Stormblood reminded me a lot of A Realm Reborn. It did a lot of things that were just kind of obnoxious. With its story and like the story and its storytelling techniques. And at that point, it was one of those situations for me where it's like, okay, people say that Final Fantasy XIV, the story is really good. I played one part of the game that has been basically one of the worst case scenarios for me. I wasn't enjoying it very much, if at all. But people keep saying it gets better. So I played Heavensward, and I like it. And then I play Stormblood, and I don't like it. So it brings you to that point of the only thing left at the time was the patches and then Shadowbringers. Even if I liked Shadowbringers, that would only mean that Final Fantasy XIV has 2 expansions I like and 2 that I don't. And that to me does not warrant a game that is, having one of the best stories of all time, yada yada, this and that. So I was just like, I'm done for right now. It's not worth it. There's certainly a possibility that I'll go back and play it again, and try to finish it out. But When I tried to do that somewhat recently, I wasn't able to, or I ran into an issue where I didn't set up my account in the proper way. I guess is the best way for me to put it. And I should have done that, and I didn't. I have this thing where if I don't think I'm going to like or enjoy the game, or whatever it is, I will create my account under like a name that I know I'll probably not need to remember, or something like that, and set up the account details with information that's not my own, so that I can so that I don't have to worry about anything. And in the case of like League of Legends or Final Fantasy 14, that's exactly what I did, because I didn't think I would be going back to those games. Like, I'm not gonna like these games. Why would I bother? And turns out, Final Fantasy 14 is a complicated one. You need your birthday to access certain parts of the website and stuff like that. And I have no idea what I entered for my birthday, because it ain't my birthday. That one really got the jump on us. But if cryptids are appearing on the highways, there's no way any buses are running to the city, right? Can't imagine they are. So I doubt that the defense force would have much trouble coming and going with those armored cars of theirs. So without them, there's no way to get to the hospital. Citizens' health must be suffering for it. Yes, that is a natural conclusion. Ursula herself must be looking down at us in grief. Ursula, you mean the same woman from The Saint and the White Wolf? Wait, don't tell me the White Wolf from the story was you, Zeet. The tale of a young caretaker who was marked for death by a feudal lord, but wound up inspiring him instead. She's considered a saint in the church's canon, too. Yes, and in life, she was a compassionate young woman. However, she did not lose her life, as the story depicts, but rather escaped death. She would then come to marry the knight who spared her. In fact, their descendants still live in these lands. Really? Truth is often stranger than fiction. Anyways, I need to save and mark, but that's the long story of my time with Final Fantasy 14. It's certainly not like, there's nothing wrong with the game, and people can like whatever they want about Final Fantasy 14. I don't care what people like or dislike or whatever. Sometimes it's great for conversation, but whatever. When it comes down to it, for me, I don't agree with some of the statements that were made of it, and I think me going into the game with the wrong expectations definitely hurt what I wanted to get out of it. I will definitely say that if I didn't have to pay $15 a month to play it, I probably wouldn't care as much. But because there's a subscription fee attached to it, I think it means more that I get out of it what I'm looking for. And yeah, there you go.